Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Komard here with Komards NFTs, bringing you another Komards class through the power of the King of Hearts Studio. For all your music needs, go see the King of Hearts on Twitter at the King of Hearts NFTs. Today we are going to be discussing branding and marketing tactics that work. Before we do, though, I'd like to take a moment to talk about our sponsors. Our Tier 2 sponsors this month include iRise NFT, rooted in empathy, committed to equity, bringing NFT art with real-world impact and eyes to social issues. To learn more about iRise NFT, go to irisenft.org. Next up, we have Zeller Visuals, a 3D mixed media artist producing documentaries, photographs, and films, all while creating a Web3 wall collage about truth, equal rights, and independence. Learn about Zeller Visuals at zellervisuals.com. Next up, I want to talk about our next sponsor, which is AstroZero. AstroZero is an NFT marketplace being built as we speak. AstroZero is community-driven and designed to empower all NFT artists. Built by the community for the community. Be sure to check them out, you guys, at astroelon.net. Our Tier 3 sponsor this month is the Draco Leopard Gang, a rich, story-packed NFT brand. They say that art without fire is like humanity without passion. Guys, success is only a mindset away. For more information about the Draco Leopard Gang, be sure to visit them at dracoleopardgang.io. Without further ado, let's get started here. The purpose of this class, you guys, is to give you guys a few strategies that work for organic growth. And we know this because these are strategies that we have used and things that we're putting into practice on a regular basis. With discovering what it is that's going to help us with organic growth, we're also going to talk about the use of OPA, or other people's audiences, as well as paid marketing and when the right time to use paid marketing might be for your brand and project. Let's start by talking about getting organic. What do I mean by that? I mean build your brand. Guys, there is another class that I will be teaching that will go into more detail about how to properly build out a brand. Watch for that. That is going to be coming soon. With that being said, part of building your brand is making sure that you're everywhere and literally nowhere all at the same time. And what I mean by that is that there are more than 350 social media websites and or apps available right now. But you should try to be on every single one of those that you could possibly be on. Key factor in this, though, you guys, is this. Make sure that all of your social profiles are branded identically. What I mean by that is every single one of them should have the same PFP, the same bio, the same link to a website or link index or whatever it is you've got going. And wherever it is that you want people to be going, that's what should be there. And you just want to make it exactly the same. If you look at companies like Coke, Apple, Nike, top Fortune 500 companies, you guys, all doing the same thing. If you look at all the platforms that those guys are on, they're identical no matter what platform you're looking at them on. So make sure that you guys are doing the same exact thing. Even though you should be in as many places as possible when it comes to social media, you're not going to have time to use them all. I promise you. Komards NFTs is on 100 plus social media networks, and we use 10 or 12 daily. The rest of them, it was a creation of the profile and a single post that said who we are, what we do, why we do what we do, and where people can get involved and engage with us to the platforms that we use regularly. Make sure that you're using the same platforms consistently. Add value. Guys, there are a ton of NFT blog posts out there and blogging sites, and not to mention all the social media platforms that you are using. There's chances for you to add value to those. And what I mean by that is let's say that Joe Smith has a post that they made on Twitter talking about a good tactic for wallet security with MetaMask as an example. But one of the things that he didn't mention was that, you should disconnect your wallet every time you're done using any specific site, whether it's a dApp, a marketplace like OpenSea, it doesn't matter. You should disconnect it every time. That's something of value that he added to that conversation. Now, if you can't add anything of value to the conversation, you absolutely shouldn't say anything. When you're commenting on relevant blog posts on various blogs that relate to NFTs and Web3, make sure that you include a link to the place that you want your consumers to visit when it's possible. Most of these blog websites, you guys, when you sign up to read these blogs or to comment on these blogs, they're going to ask you for a link back to you. So give them a link and be consistent with the link that you're giving out, because more times you give a single link out, the more power it has with Google, guys, thus adding more backlinks for you. So make sure you're sending them to the same place consistently. Next, you're going to utilize OPA, which is other people's audiences. And what I mean by that is you're going to build meaningful and lasting relationships with like-minded brands. Guys, this is super important when it comes to OPA. If you and another brand do not have very similar beliefs, very similar ideas and practices and morals and values as a whole, you really shouldn't even mess with those brands, period. Because what's going to happen is either you are going to tear that brand down or the other brand is going to tear you down because you guys have difference of opinions on certain things. You don't want to do that. The whole idea here is to build meaningful relationships. And while yes, you can agree to disagree, and yes, you can absolutely still be friends and still get along with each other with no questions, it's super hard to do when you're tearing each other down. So utilize these relationships though to build each other up. Spread the word about the other brands that you stand behind. It's not any different than when you go to a movie, you see a great movie and you share it with your friends and you're like, oh my God, I just saw the new Batman with Vampire Boy and that movie was pretty fire. You need to go check it out. Well, guess what? Your friend's going to go check it out, right? So why would you not do the same in regards to the NFT brands that you're partnering with, that you're looking to partner with, that you're looking to build these equally beneficial, meaningful relationships with? By doing these kinds of things, it's going to allow you to enter into a collaboration with these brands. Guys, collaborations are super important. And the reason they're so important, especially in Web3, is because of the fact that it is much easier to spread the word with two people talking about it than it is one person. The next thing you can do to continue creating that organic audience, that organic traffic, is going to be to create an affiliate and or a referral program. Reward your consumers and fans, you guys. If you've got somebody that consistently talks about you or consistently is bragging up your project, your brand to somebody, then guess what you should be doing? You should be rewarding that person. Even if it means coming up with a custom one-of-one NFT for them. It's not a big deal. Create a piece for them, reward them. Give them a reason to talk about you and to want to talk about you. Give them a pat on the back when they've earned it. It's not hard to show appreciation for each other, so always show appreciation for those that are doing the same for you. And you should go out of your way to initiate these relationships and these referrals by, again, showing people that you appreciate them. Now remember, each person and brand is slightly different and we all want different things. As I stated earlier, it could be offering NFTs in return, or perhaps some crypto, or maybe even just some recognition and bragging rights. You have to be able to read people and know what it is that they're looking for. The next thing is you need to build trust. Now, how are you going to build trust? You'll build trust, number one, by being transparent. And what I mean by that is do not hide in the shadows of DMs or PMs, which are direct and or private messages. Hold these conversations publicly whenever you can. And no matter what, always stand by your word. Keep any promises and never overpromise, ever. Engage with your customers, your consumers, your fans. Be responsive. You guys, if somebody mentions you, comments on a post that you've made, or engages in your content in some way, make absolutely certain that you do the same by being responsive and engaged with them. Do not be afraid to go out of your way for brands that you're believing in and that you stand behind. Maybe you've even invested in those, and do the same for them. Engage in their content. Show them that you appreciate them. You appreciate what they're doing. Share their content with other people. That's how you're going to get organic, guys. One of the other things that is super important that I don't feel like enough brands within the space right now are doing this, and it's testing. Guys, we need to test stuff all the time to figure out what's working, what's not working, why it's working, how it's not working, all the time, because the market is currently changing hourly. People are coming into the NFT space brand spanking new, hours old, minutes old, and some years old. As a result, you need to be able to test different things to find out what is going to work for you and your brand. And if you don't test things, you're never going to know what will or won't work. And it'll be like throwing as much shit as you can at the wall, hoping something sticks. Guys, it doesn't work that way. Don't care who you are, it does not work that way. So be open to numerous types of content and strategies. Whenever you're trying new content, keep track of what's working versus what's not. And never implement more than one type of new content and or strategy at a time. When you try to implement 5 things at once, it's going to make it really, really hard for you to determine what worked versus what didn't, if anything worked at all. You're going to be able to do this with tracking your different analytics data. And there's a ton of data and metrics that are available, not even just through Twitter as a primary market for Web3 and NFTs right now as a social platform. There's a ton of different analytics tools available for you, and most of which you can get a version of for free. Never use just one source of any of these analytics programs, you guys. You need to utilize several sources. And the reason for that is no one of them is going to be absolutely perfect and or correct. So what you'll do is you'll take your metrics, you will gather them up from the various platforms that you decide to use, and then you're going to combine the results and look at the averages for the performance, and it's going to be a more accurate performance ratio metric testing to let you know. And you always need to utilize this new content for no less than 1 week. The reason is because if you try to test it for a day, you may or may not see any difference at all. If you test it for a week and you still don't see any difference, or maybe you see a massive engagement increase, well then you know. And again, by checking your metrics regularly through these analytics tools that are available to you, you'll be able to know. And now a word from our Tier 3 sponsor, the Draco Leopard Gang.
From the beginning, the universe has teemed with sporadic life across infinite planes. Just as countless worlds are born, they also dwindle into nothingness. For many life forms, the cycle of death is a natural principle, while for others it is merely an illusion. The universe displays her balance when force is met with opposition. Proof of such a notion is good versus evil. For eons, the Draco Leopards have been locked in a timeless war with the unseen evil, one so great that an ancient prophecy foretells that these harbingers of death will usher in the era known as the Dawning. An event so catastrophic it will forever change the landscape of all reality, shredding the very fabric of time itself. Who are they, you ask? Hermaphites, a cruel primordial race of shapeshifters hell-bent on destruction and the utter annihilation of all life forms in their path.
All right, so let's talk about some of these analytics tools just a little bit. So let's start with the web presence analytics tools. Google. I've said it 100 times. I will continue to say it. Google is your friend. And here's what I mean by this. Do a search for your brand on a weekly basis. Set it for the same day, same time, week after week after week. And when you do, you're going to see the number of links that are generated back to your brand. If you do this for Komards NFTs right now, you're going to see that there are nearly 10,000 links. And the punchline to that is we don't even have a website, but we've got 10,000 backlinks, all guiding to Komards NFTs in some way, shape, or form, whether it's on Twitter, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, doesn't matter. We're somewhere. And if you're doing this right and you're building your brand appropriately, you guys are going to see that your link results are going up each week. Now, another tool that Google does produce is called Google Trends, and it's kind of a sub-tool of Google itself. And it's a good way to get a quick overview of your brand, but here's the punchline to that, and that is if you do not have enough results or enough traffic, it's not going to yield any information for you at all. So you really, some of you may be able to use it, some of you may not. So let's talk about the next web presence analytic tool that you can use for free. It's called Hootsuite. Hootsuite offers a free plan that allows you to integrate up to 3 of your social media profiles. And the best part about it is it draws on nearly 200 different metrics tools to measure the impact of your reach. What? Yeah. Now, Hootsuite does have paid programs, and their paid programs are absolutely valuable. You know, one of the things that lot of you have heard of Hootsuite 4 is the fact that it allows you to publish multiple posts to multiple platforms all at the same time, and boom, done. And it does. It's a great tool, but it's a little on the pricey side. If it's not within your budget to utilize a tool like that, then you guys, I would recommend you just utilize the free program for right now. Choose your top 3 social media profiles and run with it, and that'll give you some really good data, and it'll make it easier for you to be consistent on at least those 3 platforms. Next up, I want to talk about another site called TalkWalker, and this site allows you to monitor all of your social media performance. You can actually conduct unlimited searches across all social media platforms to include your campaigns, your brand, your mentions, hashtags, and the best part is it's free. That's right, free. Next up, we're going to talk about Audience. Audience is a tool that allows you to identify relevant audiences with insights to inform you of strategies to grow your brand and or business. Another valuable tool if you use it appropriately. Let's talk about some platform-specific analytics tools that you guys can utilize. And I'm going to start with Facebook Insights here. I'll be honest with you, we have a Facebook, but I swear to you, I barely use it. I don't even really use it for my own family. I'm not a fan of Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I don't use it. I'll be honest with you, I've never used Facebook Insights to look at anything because I just honestly don't care. However, what I will tell you about Facebook Insights is that it does provide information about your page's performance, such as your demographic data on your audience and how people are responding to your posts. It allows you to sort by post types as well as seeing the demographics of fans, identify your reach in organic, paid, and viral searches. And again, it is free. Let's move on to Instagram Insights. Instagram Insights allows you to learn more about your followers and how your content performs within the audience. You'll be able to see insights for specific posts, stories that you've created to see how each of those performed and how people engaged with them. From your profile, you'll be able to access insights in the Instagram app. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Twitter Analytics. It provides quick and informative statistics on your Twitter activity. For each month, you can sort it out by month to get the number of impressions, the visits, the mentions, the followers. You can even see top mentions and top followers, and it will give you suggestions on how to grow your audience. Now, another fantastic tool that I don't think a lot of people really know about or even utilize is called Twitter Engagement Insights. And what this does is it tracks the engagement that you get on the content that you're posting. And then it decides, okay, this is when your audience is primarily on and active and rolling it out. So this is a really useful tool in order to post the most important information you have when your audience is online and active to make sure that you're getting in front of the people that you want to get in front of the most. Guys, super powerful tool. You'll notice Komards NFTs posts their morning motivation at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every day. And they post the tip of the day at 2 p.m. every single day. Why? Because our audience most days is the most active between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Twitter Audit's another really beautiful tool that I absolutely love. Here's why. When I go to a brand's profile and I see that they've got 55,000 followers, but they're only following 100 people, that for me just strikes me as odd, number one. Number two, I'm not the only one that it strikes as being odd, because what happens is there are programs out there that allow you to buy followers. 90% of the time, those followers that you are buying are fake. Do not buy followers. Please do not buy followers, because people like me will straight up out you when we take a look at your profile and see that you've got X amount of thousands of followers, but 41% of them are fake. Wait, well then you're not doing as great as you're pretending to be doing. So now you're misleading the audience. Don't do that. It is a great tool though, because it does allow you to determine who the fake accounts are, the bot accounts, and even spammer accounts. And with this tool, you can actually block all the fake accounts. Fake accounts are based on a number of factors, which I do not have the exact details off the top of my head, but you'll be able to look at that on Twitter Audit, and it'll tell you what they're checking and what they're not checking, things like that. Now, let's talk about Pinterest Analytics. It's a free service that they provide to you if your Pinterest is set up as a business account, and it lets you view your most popular pins and ads to build your media strategy. Now, find out how Pinterest users are interacting with your content and learn topics about your audience members that they're interested in and the behavior that they exhibit on Pinterest. Guys, Pinterest is a great platform. We've recently started using it about a month ago, and what I found is that it's a really super sick tool to post up your NFT collections with backlinks to, that's right, your collections, whether it's on OpenSea, VC, whatever blockchain, whatever marketplace it's on. Guess what? Every one of them is just created a link right back to that same collection. Now, how much power do you think you just gave that collection on Google? Think about it for a minute. And we actually took it one step further. And not only did we start posting our own collections up there, but we actually started posting pieces that we've received and or bought from other creators on there and linked back to their original collections. Why? To give them additional power to that collection. It's our way of saying, we love you, supporting you. Doesn't take much to do this, guys. So let's talk about some paid marketing here real quick. Paid marketing includes a number of things. And if you're a website owner, I would say this is probably one of the most important things you could possibly spend money on in terms of marketing. And it's called search engine optimization, otherwise known as SEO. I want to be clear though, SEO is not easy, nor is it cheap, but it does truly work to get your site on top of the listings for Google searches for specific keywords. Pay attention to the keywords that you're targeting here though, you guys. You might want them to be pretty niche so that you can make sure you're not just throwing shit at a wall. You know, you want to make sure that you're getting in front of the right people. So make sure you're choosing the appropriate words and things for your SEO. Social media marketing. Nearly every single social media platform out there offers paid ads. It's what helps keep them in business and thus profitable. When it comes to paid ads on social media, we recommend that you start with just one platform and your biggest platform. In other words, the platform where you have the most following, the most audience, the most engagement. The reason for this is because your audience is going to help power these ads. And what I mean by that is that your audience is going to see these ads. There are going to be certain members of your audience who follow you, that love you, support you, all of these different things, and they're going to see these ads. When they see these ads, they're probably going to retweet them, share them, like them, different things like that. So now they're adding power to that, which is going to push it even further within that social media platform. The great thing here about paid ads within social media, though, in general, is that you can set a budget for these ad campaigns. Start small. If you've only got $100 in the month, set it up for $100 throughout the month, and whenever it's gone, it's gone. I would highly recommend, though, that you set it up in such a way that it disperses it equally and consistently throughout the month or throughout the week, whatever it is that you're budgeting it for. The next thing that is going to help in terms of paid marketing is going to be email marketing. You guys, there is still a ton of power in email lists. These lists will help you by allowing you the opportunity to continue building relationships with the members of your email list. If they've already signed up for your email, then guess what? They already like you. They're already open to your emails and what it is that you have to offer. So nurture that relationship. Don't just try to sell them and sell them and sell them. And absolutely do not spam people. For fuck's sake, don't spam people. You guys, nothing annoys me more than when I sign up for an email from somebody and I get 1, 2, 3 emails every fucking day from the same people. Are you kidding me? You think I got time to sit here and read nothing but emails from you? Get out of here with that shit. No, my life does not revolve around you. And chances are your consumers, your audience, their lives don't revolve around you guys either. Sorry, just had to point that out. Don't spam people. You know, the Komards NFTS newsletter is an example. It's a once a month newsletter, period. Now, on occasion, you will get an additional email throughout the month, but that is only to announce winners of various contests that we put out through those newsletters. That's it. That's the only time you'll really ever get an email from us. Now, are we going to start an additional email list? So that way, you know, if you're wanting some additional tips or you want to sign up for some sort of a service, then yeah, you're going to get another email. But again, that would be the only way you get that second email. All right, content. A lot of people say that content is king. I disagree. I feel like content is queen for sure. I think that consistency is king. Doesn't matter what you're offering in terms of your content, you guys, whether it's entertainment, whether it's education, doesn't matter. Maybe it's even a how-to. Make it meaningful, and more than anything else, make it full of value for that consumer and that person, that audience that you're trying to target. Last, we're going to talk about pay per click, or PPC. This is probably one of our least favorites, and the reason for that being is because we have found that oftentimes people will click and then they don't follow through with a purchase or even an engagement. And here's why. While most of us do realize the fact that we're going to show up at the top of the page because we're pay per click and Google wants to charge us, so guess what? They're going to put us up there whether we're relevant or not. So somebody might click on us because the name sounds like it might be relevant, so they're going to click on it, and then they get to the site and they're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, back. So now you just paid for something that, again, wasn't for your specific audience, wasn't what the consumer was looking for. So with this, it's dangerous, and you can quickly spend your entire marketing budget in this format. It could set it up to where you're not able to remain consistent with those pay-per-click campaigns. So guys, use caution if you're going to use PPC. That's all I can say. In conclusion today, you guys, whatever marketing tactic that you are using, ensure that it is part of an overarching marketing strategy. Otherwise, I promise you're wasting your time and throwing money down the drain on just throwing random tactics out there at a wall, hoping that one of them is going to stick and just blow you up. It's not going to happen. That's not the way to run a robust ROI-driven marketing campaign. Now, we do understand how difficult it can be to plan and or organize an ROI-boosting marketing campaign without wasting hordes of money and testing out numerous things. This is why we created Komards class. This is why we created Komards coaching and NFT services for businesses to help you and your teams achieve the next level. With Komards NFTs, you can count on us treating your brand like your own. If you're interested in learning more, guys, get in touch with us, whether it's on Twitter, send us an email at cs@komardsnfts.io, and let's talk. Let's get involved. Let's figure out what we can do to help each other out. Now, I do need to throw in a disclaimer here, and that is this. This class, like other classes that we have offered, are for educational purposes only. They are not financial advice, investment advice, guiding you to success. As always, we love you and appreciate your support. To keep up with everything that Komards NFTs is doing, be sure to follow us over on Twitter at Komards_NFTs. And remember to ask yourself, what did you do to make the world a better place today?